What is up, everybody? Coach Tom coming back at you at Stoked Metabolic Coaching. You might be seeing this in the Fat Loss Blueprint for Overworked Professionals. I hope you're seeing it there. That's my Facebook group, and we're growing every single day, so we're getting more people absorbing the free content, being part of the community, and just constantly growing. If you're not seeing it there, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the link in the show notes on YouTube. So jump on in there, join the group. I'll let you on in. Plenty of free content coming your way every single day. If you're a returning visitor, you might notice I've changed things up a little bit. I'm coming at you from the kitchen today. So this is where the magic happens. You know, this is where you build the body, not in the gym. You build your best body in the kitchen, cooking, whether it's meal prep on Sunday or better decisions at dinner. This is where the real magic happens. Wife's not home, so we'll mix it up on where the magic happens. But yeah, I just wanted a little change of scenery today. It's a nice day out, so I got the sun coming in from all angles. There's a little better lighting in here. Coda's taking a nap on the couch, so we flipped it up. Plus, I get to stand and I get to be a little more animated like I am versus sitting in the chair. God knows I don't like to sit. I don't like to stop moving around, so hopefully I don't come out of the frame too much, but let's just kick it off. We're about to talk about the pyramid of fat loss. So the pyramid of fat loss, I asked in my private Facebook group the other day, what you would rank as the top 5 things you should be doing for fat loss. A lot of people jumped right in on cardio and water. I mean, you gotta have water. Cardio does make the list. A lot of people got a lot of the things right. Some of you said supplements, and supplements did not make my list. They can help. I take supplements daily for the, all sorts of health benefits depending on what I'm taking. But supplements did not make my list. You had a lot of great answers, but I want to break down the list for you a little more in depth. And this is part 1 of I'll make it a 5-parter because I got 5 pieces to the pyramid. And we're just going to start at the bottom. The bottom is not a bad thing. You want to start at the bottom. It's the foundation of that pyramid. So this is going to be the most important thing on the list if you are trying to lose body fat. I'm not going to talk about weight today. You know, if you've been watching long enough that I'm not a scale guy. I don't care if you lose 200 pounds. I do care that you lose unwanted body fat and stubborn body fat. You know, the scale could say the same. You could gain 10 pounds of muscle. I've said it before. You could gain 10 pounds of muscle, lose 10 pounds of fat, and still be 200 pounds. But you're going to look like the freaking, maybe not the Rockin' Project Rock right here, but you're going to look your best self. You're going to be living your best self, and you're going to be feeling good about your life. And that is my goal for you. So without further ado, we're going to kick it off. Number 1, bottom of the pyramid, calorie deficit. You got to be taking in less calories than you're expending every day. Energy in versus energy out. Energy out needs to be more than the energy you're taking in. Excuse me. I go on a rant and then I start getting a little raspy. So if you don't know how many calories you're currently taking in, your first step, you want to jump on something like MyFitnessPal and just start tracking, get a baseline in. You know, if we're somebody that's worked together, I've monitored your calories for 3 to 7 days before we even get started. That way I can know where you're at and where we need to go. Some of you, the calorie in, calorie out formula might not be working. There's a whole host of different things that could be causing that to not work, but that is going to be the main driver. Calories in versus calories out. Are you in a calorie deficit? If you don't know, jump on MyFitnessPal, start tracking now. Number 2 is going to be protein intake. Protein is probably the number one underutilized or underconsumed of the macronutrients. Like it's my favorite thing to eat. I love steaks, I love fish, I love chicken, I love eggs. I enjoy a protein shake after I've worked out. Like, I love protein, but a lot of people, once they get onto MyFitnessPal and they're tracking, they're chronically under eating protein. And how much protein do you need to be eating? It's about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So I weighed in this morning at 206 pounds. I should be eating about 206 grams of protein per day. Now, I like to have a little more muscle on me, so I do skew that number a little higher, but it's gonna vary for everybody, but you wanna at least, and I say 1.2 to 0.8, I prefer you to be closer to 1 gram protein per pound of body weight. That way, if you miss the mark on 1 gram, you still fall into that 0.8. You just missed it by a little bit, but if you shoot for 0.8 and you get in 0.6, well, now you're way under eating your protein. Get what I'm saying? So hit me in the comments if you get what I'm saying there. You gotta be getting in enough protein. Start analyzing. I'm willing to bet that 90% of the people that watch this video, unless we're already working together, are eating too little protein. So once you've got that calorie deficit, once you've got calories set, start next level of the pyramid is going to be your protein intake. After that, weightlifting. But coach, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to look like you. I don't want to be swole. I don't want to be jacked. I'm tired of hearing it. Throw that out the window. Don't bring it in this house. Don't bring it in my house that you don't want to get jacked. You're not going to get jacked unless you're consuming calories and a vast amount of proteins the way somebody like me is, the way somebody, guys bigger than me, the way the freaking Rock, let's bring it back to Big Daddy Dwayne Johnson, the way he is consuming protein. It's just not gonna happen. People spend their lives trying to get jacked. It does not happen because you ate enough protein and you started weight training. What you're gonna do is build muscle. You're not gonna build a substantial, The Rock amount of muscle unless that's your goal and you're eating for that goal and you're making other decisions for that goal. But you gotta weight train because more muscle on your body is gonna increase your metabolic rate. That is why my metabolism is probably better than yours. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. I have a stronger metabolism than most of you watching right now because I have a substantial amount of muscle in my body and I have to eat to maintain that muscle. So you gotta be weight training. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of getting jacked. Don't be afraid of getting bulky. If you don't know what you're doing, I do online programming, reach out to me for that. But if you're not doing any, start with 1 or 2 days. If you're doing 1 or 2 days, see if you can squeeze in a third. If you're getting in a third, see if you can squeeze in a fourth or a fifth. I don't think you need to be going 7 days a week. I know a lot of guys that just spend their lives in the pain cave, in the gym. 4 to 5 days a week is going to get you optimal benefits where you're adding a little bit of lean muscle tissue and you're gonna increase your metabolic rate. And I know plenty of people that I've taken through that say they don't want to gain any muscle. They don't want to go to the gym. Can I just help them diet? I've worked with you before. We've done that. And then what they find once they've shed that body fat, that unwanted body fat, is that they're still not happy with their body. Now they're like, maybe we should have done that muscle training. Can we integrate that into the program? Of course we can. We can throw that in anytime. But I'd prefer if you started sooner rather than later. So we're at tier 3 there with weightlifting. Tier 4, sleep. I will say this probably in every episode of this you watch. The no sleep, the team no sleep mentality, the no days off mentality is dead. It's dead. Shoot it, take it out back. I'm done with it. I don't do it. I sleep for at least 7.5 hours. I can feel a noticeable performance difference if I sleep for 7 hours versus 7.5. 7.5 is my minimum. I shoot for 8. I actually have trouble sleeping more than 8 just because my brain, I start going a little crazy and I want to get into stuff like this. So shoot for 7, 7.5, 8's even better, hours of sleep every night. There's a little hormone called ghrelin, and it has a lot to do with your body being hungry. We'll dive further into ghrelin when I get into the full-on sleep episode, but if ghrelin's working against you, you're gonna be hungry a lot. And if you're hungry a lot, you're probably not gonna be in a calorie deficit. There's all sorts of other hormones that are at play when you're sleeping, your body's recovering, your body's repairing. Sleep, I got it at number 4 on the pyramid. Number 5, all of you put this, so many of you, not all of you, so many of you put this at number 1 on the pyramid. It's cardio. Yes, cardio is great. It helps strengthen your heart. It feels good for some people. I don't love cardio. The reason I run marathons and stuff like that is because I don't like cardio and I know it's a challenge for me. It's something that takes me out of my wheelhouse. But cardio it's a very small piece of the pyramid. If you're doing the other 4 things right and you hit a brick wall, that's when I say mix in the cardio. If the weight's not coming off, like now it's time to throw in a little cardio. And it could be something very small as getting outside, walking your dog. His ears just perked up. You can see him on the couch and I said, walking the dog, Cody's ears popped. But it could be like walking the dog. It could be 3 miles an hour at a 10% incline. I do that 2 or 3 times a week just to keep my metabolism a little extra revved up. You know, you can do high intensity. You can do steady state intensity. You can do interval training. There's all sorts of different forms of cardio that have different benefits, but you're looking at about a 200, 250, 300 calorie burn if you're lucky from cardio, unless you're going like super long distance. And then the problem, in my opinion, with doing those super long distances every single day, you know, marathon training, I never did more than, I ran 48.6 miles beginning of last month, and I never did more than three miles on like a treadmill for my training. My body is just used to it. You know, the marathon was more of it's a mental thing for me, but I never did more than 3 miles because I know that when you integrate those long cardio sessions, the metabolic stress on your muscles, it's gonna break down more muscle than I'm willing to have with a long distance-based cardio session. You're just not gonna maintain muscle if you're doing, you know, 5 miles Monday, 6 miles Tuesday, your long 13 miler on Saturday. Like if you're stacked like that, you're probably gonna burn a little more muscle than I'm willing to do. So you look for cardio that'll burn about 200 to 300, you know, calories per session, maybe 3 to 4 days a week. Don't overdo it. So many people overdo it, but just use it as an added bonus, the top of the pyramid, just that little extra that's gonna keep you burning, gonna keep you losing weight, you know, and just help you break past that plateau that we talked about. Beyond that, I mean, that's the pyramid. I'll break it all down a little further. I loaded, if you're in the Facebook group, I loaded a little breakdown of it so you can check it out. If you're not in the Facebook group, drop down in the show notes, check it out there. You can check me out at the Muscle Mouse. I do want to announce I have something really cool coming your way, and it's for the low price of $3.99, everybody's favorite number. So I'm gonna be giving away something for $0. It's called, you know, a little Fix My Diet. It's the 3 things I would do if I were you with your current diet. So I'm gonna take a look at what you're doing. I'm gonna take a look at how you're doing it. And I'm gonna tell you these are the 3 things you need to do immediately if you wanna see some results. I'm not gonna try to pitch you. I'm not gonna try to sell you. I'm not gonna try to get anything out of you. I just have been blessed in this community. I've been blessed in this industry, and I wanna share the love, and I wanna just continue to grow the group. So invite your friends, invite your, you know, anybody that you think would benefit from some more advice on this journey, invite them in. You can comment Fix My Diet, and I'll shoot you my assessment, and then we'll get you in the mix. Have a great day, y'all.